Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, trick, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side manage shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was woofing, first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch, boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang get dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get decayed with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right. Good morning, family. Good morning. Glad to see y'all back with us again. Oh, man, we had a good time over at Arshawn's channel yesterday on Critically Drinking yesterday. Shout out to Arshawn. Shout out to Mr. He Said. Shout out to Yella. Shout out to Von Bryant. Shout out to VonEric. Yeah, we had a nice little conversation over there, man. Good dudes. Did I miss anybody? I think it was one more guy up there, right? Let's see. It was Arshawn, VonEric, Von Bryant, Yella, I think me, and somebody else came up there. Somebody else. Oh, well, look, I'll shout him out when I see him. I'll shout him out when I see him up there. But yeah, we had a good time. A little rough subject matter, but nevertheless, I think we were able to discuss it in a way to make it better. Make it better than be able to discuss it where we didn't break too many eggshells. Mr. He said, there you go. Thank you, Sister Eddie. Mr. He said was up there. All right, so let's move on, man, because as you can see, Rico wants me to end this thing quick, so we're gonna get it quick. We're not gonna take a long time, but for first things first, we gotta get to the business. Shout out to Brother Eric, man, 16 to Life, better known as 16 to Life, better known as Chill. For letting us use this music. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for letting us use this music, man, and letting us move around with this music, man. Shout out to Brother Eric. You can go visit him at 16 to Life, the YouTube page. Go on over there and check him out, man. But we appreciate him for his donation to the cause over here. Appreciate you for letting us use that music. All right, that's Brother Eric, man. Go check him out. Okay, y'all. Let's get to the business while we're here, man. Today, I promise I'm going to go back to our standard Sunday morning where we do the Black History Minute. We do all of these other things. I'm going to get back to that. But today, I want to get in this because I want to make this thing real. I want to make this thing real short. I want to be able to, get this done so everybody can move on and have their day good. But first, we got to check everybody in. Let's check everybody in. Diamond Axe in the building says, "Oh snap! How's everybody doing?" Well, we're gonna get to that, Diamond. We're gonna get to how everybody's doing, man. We're gonna get to some of the things, some of the issues. Now, why am I gonna go over this show again? I'm going over the show to go over some of the things that I feel that needed to be pointed out in the show that weren't like, when you got a 5-man, 10-man panel, especially 10-man panel, nobody can really break down anything. You don't have enough time really to break things down, right? You got a one-on-one panel where, one person talking at a time. Yeah, you got time that one person can, break stuff down. But when you got 10 men panel, yeah, you waiting for an hour, 45 minutes before you ever going to talk again, right? And then you only talking for 2 minutes. You can't really say anything that's going to really make a difference, impact. So that's why I really don't like the 10-man panels. I like them more like 4-man panels. Maybe that's maximum 4 or 5-man panel maximum, because then people can talk long enough to get their point across, at least shape the argument. Anyway, shout out to Diamond Axe, man. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. Who else in the building? My Taurus brother, Anderson the Great. He said we black again. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Of course, we're black again, Brother Anderson. And yes, sir, we are having a great day, man. Appreciate you, man. This is a day that the Lord has made. And man, if you know what I'm saying, if you know somebody that can make a better one, right? In the Quran, they was complaining, man, the days, my days just didn't go too good. so God said, okay, well, if you can make another one, you make one like this one. If you know somebody that can make another day, hey, add it to the week. Man, you go ahead and do it, right? Everybody just said, zoop. Oh, man, shout out to the God of the universe, man. You make this beautiful day today, man. Sunday out here in sunny California, 83 degrees out here, man. Beautiful day outside. Beautiful day outside. Take your kids outside, man. Get some sunlight. Sunlight is good, man. It when it hits the top of the brain and it hits the top of the head, it makes your head release vitamin D into the brain, and vitamin D is essential element for us to for our development and for us just our body to function properly. So shout out to y'all, man. Go out there and take your kids out there and get a little sunlight on their heads. Who else is in the building? Sister Annie's in the building. My Taurus sister. Excuse me, Brother Clarence. You go watch. You hear from me, right? Shout out to Sister Annie, our administrator. Glad to have you in the building, my sister. Good to see you. Who else is in the building? Brother Von Bryant's in the building. Says greeting, peace, joy, grace, and abundance. Juan always knows how to enter a room, man. Who else is in the building? Old crusty, extra salty Uncle Rico says this better be a short live, like I told you. and I got a receipt of these instructions, right? I did good, y'all, this week. I did good, man. I only got cussed out by Rico once this week, so I did pretty good. I think I'm ahead of the game, man. I think I'm ahead of the game. Shout out to Brother Rico. Who else is in the building? Who else is in the building? I think that's everybody who wants to be acknowledged at this time. So we are going to move into what we were talking about, what I wanted to discuss. Now, so we had a good time, man. We had a really good time. So what I want to do is get into some of the points. So let's watch a little bit of yesterday's live stream, with Arshawn and the fellas, and we're gonna see some of the points where I wanted to move, kind of expound a little bit on, right? Okay, so let's play a little bit of this.
Destruction. Let's be clear. Miriam, his wife, prophesied what he was going to be. You have nothing but bloodshed in my eyes. So this is what was coming after Moses. Let's be clear. Moses shed blood while he was in Egypt.
Okay, so first thing that we want to get clear is that Miriam was his sister, not his wife, and I'm sure that's what VonEric meant to say. I'm sure that's what he meant to say, right? All right, so let's clear that up. Okay.
Then he came out of Egypt.
Sister Annie said something down at the bottom. She said, "Nah, don't bring women into this, Brother Clarence." I must have said something. What did I say? Let's go back and see something.
A lot worse people. We had a lot worse scenarios and a lot worse ideologies that people die over. So that was just my thought.
Doing it in the name of, religion or ideology. I mean, Genghis Khan killed like I said, 70 million according to history, and he did it in Buddhism. So he that's a lot right there. I mean, that's a lot right there according to history. And plus, King Leopold they said he killed what 20 million Africans.
Quite a bit.
So that's a lot right there. So I mean, yeah, Hitler. But go ahead, Brother Clarence, because I went.
Yeah, you were working.
You had to finish up.
Oh no, I was just saying, that. To say that we're just going to just take one person out. I said if the four of us was in the time machine, right? We in the hot tub time machine, and we stop, and there's Moses, right? Moses talking to the burning bush, right? VonEric jumps up out, he takes the seatbelt off and runs out there. He's gonna get Moses, right? I would grab him and say, "Hold on, VonEric, hold on, VonEric. Wait a minute. We got to know what's on the other side of taking this man out, because we might be bringing something worse into the ball game, right? We think what we got is bad, but we might be introducing something worse into the ball game. Same thing if we stopped and Jesus is talking to the little kids and spreading his joy. Arshawn takes the seatbelt off. I'm like, Arshawn, running down there, running to get him, right? I have to grab Arshawn and say, "Wait a minute, Arshawn, wait a minute."
Yeah. I don't want Jesus spreading his joy to the little children.
Right.
There's been a lot of people spreading joy to the little children. And we've got enough of that, especially in the church, coming from the church, youth pastors, Catholic priests. Nah, there's been enough people spreading joy. We good. The kids are good on joy. They make their own joy.
Okay. All right. Like Vaughn said, Clarence, you're the center of the frame, man. Proud of you. I'm working on it, Vaughn. I'm working on it, man. I am an off-center type person, so sometimes I do get out of the frame. But thank you, Brother Vaughn. I take that in love. I appreciate you, brother. Okay, so right here, Arshawn says, "Hey, you know what? I don't want Jesus spreading his joy to the children, right?" Now, I know what he means to say. I know what he means, but let me clear up something here. So, this joy that what Arshawn was meaning to say, in my opinion, was that certain things are being done in the name of Jesus that are not in line with what Jesus actually was here to do and actually here was teaching. Right, is outside alignment of his teaching. Right. And so I get that. That's what he was actually trying to say. Right. But remember, these are people that could take anything and use anything as an evil weapon, right? Even Jesus has been weaponized, right? God has been weaponized. Religion has been weaponized, right? And many things have been fought. Me and Rico were just talking about this morning. Many things have been fought where somebody's name has been put on that. Okay, we fight in the name of the queen. We fight in the name of the king. We fight in the name of Christianity. We fight in the name of Islam. We fight in the name of Judaism. We fight in the name of whatever, right? And many things can be weaponized, right? Many things can be weaponized. So therefore, we have to look past that, and we have to look past. Now, the question is, whose perspective are we going to use, right? So if we use the perspective of the person that's looking at it saying, oh, they're doing all this is Jesus's fault. Is it? We discussed that yesterday. How can Jesus be blamed for things that have been done in his name, especially after his death? How can he be blamed for that, right? And if you blame Jesus, Arshawn said itself, you have to go to the CEO. Well, Jesus is just the, Jesus is the vice president. We got to go to the president if you want to blame somebody for this situation, right? So I'm saying, now I tried to introduce a bunch of different thinking processes about this situation, as we'll see later, right? But I just want to clear that up, that we can't blame a man for his thinking, right? We can blame his philosophy. Now, if they're using Jesus's philosophy, and Jesus' philosophy is wicked, then we can say, oh, okay, yeah, Jesus' philosophy is wicked. They're doing things in his name after his way of doing things. But but that's not the case here. They're not doing things in Jesus' way. They're not doing things in Jesus' name. I mean, they are doing it in his name, but they put his name on front of it. They're using his name as a shield to conceal their true intention, right? It's like some of these people go out and they say, I'm going to go on a mission to go out here and try to bring Christianity and salvation to these starving people, right? And I'm going to bring that to them, right? Some of them have good intentions on doing that, but there's some of them that don't. Some of them have the intention of, hey, I'm the only person out here that is bringing fresh food to these people. I'm the only one that's out here bringing them fresh water. Therefore, they have to come to me if they want these things. That gives me a level of power over them, because I'm basically God to them. I control the means of their survival. Their survival is in the palm of my hands. I can decide who gets water, who gets food. I'm out here all by myself, right? And everybody here is here to support me in what I'm trying to do. Therefore, that gives me special powers over the people. So now, if I let desire be my driver and not righteousness, then I can do what I will instead of what God wills. There's two different things going on there. I need to do what God wills, not what I will. Because if I do what I will, eventually my desires will get entrenched. I will run into my desires. God will is going to keep going on and on and on forever. Righteousness is going to always, it's going to stand the test of time. My desires are going to see, once I see that I have power over these people, if I don't stick to the script, I will get corrupted. And temptation may enter in, right? That's how sometimes we find out that these preachers and pastors and imams and all of these sheikhs and what do you call those guys? Rabbis. We find out all of these religious leaders, we'll find out they got a chink in their armor because they get so much power. They get so much power, and they get in it, and then they don't get questioned. See, they don't get questioned. That's how another way you can develop into, get caught up in your desires, right? Because you don't get questioned. Nobody checks you. Nobody says, hey, bro, see, I thought you said that this is how we was going to do this. But you talking a whole different ball game. I thought you was going to let the females teach the little kids. Now you got grown men teaching little kids. What? Why are we changing up? What's going on? Oh, brother so-and-so came to me and said, that's the way we should do it. He said he's good with little kids. Someone's going to let him check. Did you check his background, Bo C? Oh, no, I didn't check his background. I like him. Look at his face. Right? He has a kind and gentle manner, right? I don't need to check his face. I know he's a good man. How do you know he's a good man? You know he's presenting like a good man, but we don't know. That's why we always have to be open for the possibility of the alternative. Just because you feel that, hey, this is going to work this way. It has to work this way. But you have to always be open for the alternative. What would happen if it didn't go that way? Then what? Anything could go anyway. That's why, what do we need God for if everything's going to be perfect? This is one of the lessons I was trying to teach yesterday, right? I don't know if how good it went over, right? You know what I'm saying? But the reason why, so the question was asked, what do you call that? Well, I'll get to that. Let me get to that. Let me finish up right here.
Don't bring no joy to the kids. Leave the kids alone.
So when I see Arshawn sprinting 100 miles an hour over toward Jesus, I'm gonna grab him and say, "Hey, wait a minute," because if we're gonna do these things, because this is, taking somebody out, that's a serious thing, right? There's one thing we don't look at as serious in our day and age because we so desensitized to it. Same thing with having sex with a woman. It's a very serious thing, and so we've been so desensitized to it, we don't realize what's actually going on there. So that's why I would say, hey, no, let's think about, because a lot of times, same thing, just like being with a woman. A lot of guys don't think about, well, what's going to happen afterwards? What will be the ramifications of doing this? And then a new life comes into the world, and that's new responsibility. That's added, commitment. That's a lot of other stuff that goes into just connecting with this person on a sexual level. So same thing with okay. So that's another thing that I wanted to get into, right? So we talk about getting into a religious belief, a religious order belief, right? It's like a relationship with a woman, right? A lot of things gonna come with that, right? If you get into a religious order, man, there's gonna be some discipline you have to do. There's gonna be some responsibilities that go with that, right? It's gonna be some responsibilities that go with that, right? Can't just, I'm gonna just be in this order, or I'm gonna just be with this woman, and a child comes, and then you just say, well, I'm not gonna pay my child support. I'm not gonna be there to support this woman. I'm not gonna be there to support this child. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Right? There's responsibility in everything. But this world has taught us that you can be irresponsible. That's okay. You can be irresponsible. The society will take care of your children, right? We put them in foster care. We'll put them in an orphanage. We'll put them somewhere. You don't even have to pay your child support. That's okay. We're gonna give your children food. We're gonna give them what do they call that? WIC. We're gonna give them WIC. We're gonna give them food stamps. We're gonna give them. Well, they used to give food stamps. Now they got the card, right? Now you got the card. So now you don't even have to be responsible. You can have a relationship. You can have relationships with women and not be responsible at all, right? If conception comes. But Clarence, I don't even want conception to come. Oh, we got something for that too. We got a doctor down at Planned Parenthood. Take care of that. You mean I don't have to wear a hat? I don't have to wear a Jimmy hat? I can just go straight raw in? Yeah. Oh yeah. You can do it. And I would, and all you have to do is pay a little bit of money, and the responsibility gets flushed down the toilet. Shout out to OG Patrice. Shout out to Bolo. Right? Your responsibility, you can and flush your responsibility right down the toilet. Is that what God intended? No, it's not what God intended. God set up this system so that if you're having sex with somebody, it should only be under certain circumstances. But now, we're doing literally like the Romans do. I don't even know you. Let's jump into bed together. I don't know your sexual history. I don't know your lifestyle. I don't know how you really are. Let's jump into bed together. But we both want to have sex. Why? Because we don't know God. We don't know God. What we're getting from sex, we should be getting from God. And the sex should only be an illustration of the sex would be a gift from the God to give to us so that we can, for the woman to feel that she have the commitment of a God like man in her life, and also to the man, it could be the heaven that God put on this earth for him, and also for him is immortality, because the woman provides immortality for the man. Clarence, you sound like Priscilla. No, I'm just telling you the truth. Every man would go have to be put to sleep and a rib taken out of you and busted open, and then a woman put together, right? Or children put together like that, right? If it was not for the woman. The woman saves all of us from that hassle and pain, even gives God time, God who has all the time in the world, but could be doing other things, right? Who knows? I can't fathom what other things God might have to do, but he probably does. So this is something that he could do, and we could connect with each other while we are performing this act. And we can commit to each other and commit to this child that may come. But in today's society, commitment is looked at as a bad thing. Come on. Commitment looked at as a bad thing. Loving your wife and loving your family is looked at as a bad thing. They call you a simp for loving your wife, paying the bills in your house, taking care of your children. You a simp. You be a man like me. I don't pay none of my children. I don't pay for none of my children. I don't take care of them. I don't live with them. I don't do nothing for them. I'm a man, right? I'm a real man, right? What they say? You know what I'm saying? Boys do what they want. Players do what they want to, right? Suckers do what they can, right? So because I'm doing what I have to do. I'm a sucker, right? I got a family. I got responsibility. I'm a sucker. We suckers out here. Us married men, we suckers. If you look at especially in the manosphere, we looked at as suckers. Don't listen to them, right? Yeah, don't listen to us. Till you get sick, boss. Then you out there on your own, right? Or when you get old enough to get put into one of these homes, right? Because you have not cultivated someone to try to look out for you or set up a situation where when you do get to that point, if you're lucky enough to get to that point, you got people that's responsible enough to look out for you. No, I'm out here on my own, dog. What they say? The free agent lifestyle. I'm the free agent lifestyle. Okay, free agent. Hopefully you don't get 60. Hopefully you don't turn 65 or 55, right? But this ain't Logan's Run, right? This ain't Logan's Run. That would make sense in Logan's Run, right? You only gonna get to 35, then you got to go up in that thing and boop, you out of here, right? Go check out that old school movie, Logan's Run, right? Nobody gets over 35, right? Or is it 30 or 35? I forgot. I think it's 30, right? There's nobody over 30 in the whole community, because at the age of 30, you go through this thing and you go up to you float around, and the thing just starts shooting and killing everybody that's floating around, right? So nobody gets over 30, right? Except, of course, the runners, right? That was Logan's job. Was he was what they call a sandman. Sandman, take you out, put you to sleep, right? So they would go after what they call runners, right? People would run, right? They didn't want to die. They didn't want to go through that carousel. But this ain't Logan's Run. You're going to get over 30. If you're lucky. If you're blessed enough, you're going to get over 30. If you live in a free agent lifestyle, who's going to be there to take care? Oh, the government. Now, all of a sudden, the government is going to play a role in your lifestyle. Oh, okay. The government that you've been talking about all this time, now they're going to be in charge of what's going on with you. Oh, okay. Okay. See, it's too many conflicting situations here, right? But let's get back to the story. Y'all. Taking somebody out of this, because we all connected in this universe, right? All of our energies interact with each other, and we take one person out, there's a lull in the energy, and so now there has to be a recompensation for all of that. Who's going to step into that missing void? So
I think that's true what you're saying, brother. See, when you at a moment and you don't think, most people don't think about the consequences, and when they do, they're willing to suffer those consequences. The reason why I'm thinking logical, like Sean was thinking, I'm just going by his thought and I'm trying to walk in his shoes. That's why I would say, I went as far as breaking it down into logic, you would go for Moses, because what occurred once Moses came, what occurred after Moses. Now, I'm not saying taking out Moses. I'm not killing Moses, but I'm speaking in the logical as far as what Arshawn and what he said was bringing. Most people thinking logically will go with Moses, because what he brought was the law of death and the things that occurred after Moses. Because destruction, let's be clear, Miriam, his wife, prophesied what he was going to be. You have nothing but bloodshed in my eyes. So this is what was coming after Moses. Let's be clear. Moses shed blood while he was in Egypt. Then he came out of Egypt. He became king of Cush, shedding blood. And then when he went back into Egypt to lead the people out, he was shedding blood. And after he left, bloodshed was happening. So logically, you would say, but I do completely understand you saying, hold up, because we don't know. This is the reason why I wouldn't take him out. We don't know what's going to happen, because Moses talked face to face with God. So wait a minute now. I see your logic in that too. Wait a minute. So we take this brother out. What would God do? What's the side effects or the consequences in that? So
right
I
there.
agree with what you're saying.
You're absolutely right. Apex is on it. Damn.
Moses was the original gang member. Yeah, so shout out also to Red Lipstick Vibes, who passed through, probably on Mr. He Says channel, the World Class, also pulled up on Mr. Cerebro's channel. So yeah, just want to shout out and take heed to the message. I just want to make sure we acknowledge the people who are coming through on the co-streaming channels, man. Man, we got Yellow Peel pulling up in the building, man. What's going on?
What it do?
That's what's up, man. You wanna before I respond to VonEric, because I'm sitting on something because he proposed something. I want to get back to it, but I wrote a note. You ain't gotta worry about me forgetting. You gotta open this salvo. Let me ask you the question I asked all the other gentlemen. If you had a time machine, and it's again the original question by brother, he said, would you kill baby Hitler?
Okay, that was the opening question, right? Would you go back in time and destroy baby Hitler, right? Why was that question asked? Shout out to Mandrell, by the way. So why was that question asked? That was a question asked by Mr. He said on another panel, right? Mr. He said brought that question out. Hey, look, if you guys had a time machine, would you go back and kill Hitler? Baby Hitler, rather. He didn't say Hitler. He said baby Hitler, right? And so that's how this all got started. Okay. So then, of course, Arshawn said, no, I wouldn't get Hitler. I'd get Jesus as a baby, right? Okay. I know a lot of y'all Christians was like, you pulling out your hair, right? Those of y'all that got here, right? Because that's that's a little out of pocket, right? A little disrespectful, but yeah, definitely that's how he felt, right? And so shout out to Don Frank. So that's how he felt. And so even though you may not like how he felt, we got to respect the fact that, we all have different feelings about everything, right? I can't, somebody say, hey, man, we would take out the Prophet Muhammad. I would definitely not like that, but I would say, okay, well, let's talk about it. Why would you think that you would need to take the Prophet out? Well, why would you need that? See, I have to understand that some of our people, man, this is the way they feel. A lot of our people feel this way, right? About religion, period, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Judaism, or whatever it is. They feel this way. They're indifferent to our religion because of some of the things that have been done in the name of religion. In the name of this religion or that religion, these things have been done, right? Therefore, they have an indifference to it, right? So therefore, these things are going to be happening. They're going to be said. There's going to be gaps in the level of respect that we have with people that don't follow the religion that we do, like we do. They don't follow. There are going to be gaps in the respect, right? Because they don't look at it like we look at it. And we got to say, okay, we understand that this is how they're going to look at it, right? At the same time, we still, need to, be able to try to teach and give messages, not by force, but just by dropping a little truth here, a little truth there. Because, what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be forced even to drink the truth. Nobody wants to be forced to drink the truth. They want to be led to drink the truth. And they want to be able to see, like Elijah Muhammad said, looking at the difference between a clean glass and a dirty glass. You can put water in both glasses, but you have to put both glasses in front of the people. They have to be able to look and see for themselves the clean glass and decide for themselves they want to drink out of the clean glass, right? Even if you give them a clean glass and you force them to drink it, they ain't gonna want to take it because you're forcing it down them. So we have to present a lot of times like that, just not to force our people, but to just present to them in a way where they want to drink out of the clean glass, right? Because some of our people are so rebellious and it's so stiff-necked and hard-hearted. Now, I'm gonna tell you how just plain out rebellious some of our people are, man. You can have the clean glass, you can have the antidote for the poison going through their system, and they will still not drink it. Just to show you how wicked they're gonna be, man. They think they're showing you, right? I'm gonna ride this horse, this black horse into death, right? I'm gonna ride the death horse into the ground just to show you. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of helping me. That's how so ingrained the rebelliousness is in our people, man. They just ingrained like that. So we can't force them to take righteousness, man. Righteousness has to be a drink that they pick up themselves and drink out of that glass. We can't force them to drink out of it, man. So we have to present the glass in a way where it's obvious this is what they should be drinking as opposed to what they already drinking out of, right? I think I made that clear. All right, y'all, let's move on, man. Shout out to everybody who's watching out there in the bushes, man. Appreciate y'all. All right, let's move on.
No.
Okay. Why not?
No. I mean, for me personally,
You try to kill your people.
Probably
you try to kill your people.
He ain't trying to kill none of my people. Okay, my people cool. My mom and them straight.
That's a good point.
So
okay, so
you know, I might have some lineage to you know what I'm saying? I might have some lineage to the chosen ones. You know what I'm saying? I get that, but my mom and them straight.
That's what's up.
But
all right, now listen.
I'm gonna say, for me personally, I got it would be it's a personal hit list. So yeah.
Okay. You got a personal hit list. Well, that goes to the question. The next question is then, because I pushed it further. I just don't see the benefit. I'm a utilitarian. I got a little utilitarian in me. I don't see any utility for me and where I'm at for killing Hitler. But I do. I've seen so many people destroyed because of, I would say, an incomplete faith system. So because I've seen that, I would go back and get rid of Jesus. Would you join me? Nobody else has joined me so far. Would you join me? Would you suit up as a Christ venture and eliminate baby Jesus with it? And we can take the soul stone for ourselves.
So, you know, I can recognize that Arshawn was presenting it in a comical way, right? It was a question, quasi real, quasi not real, but he was presenting it as a joke, right? He was presenting it lightheartedly, but it was a real question. It was a deeper question there, right? It was a deeper question. The deeper question is, could we stop all of these different things from happening, or slow them down, or have some type of effect by removing Jesus? Therefore, there's no Jesus, then there's nobody to go out and fight wars in his name, right? There's nobody to go out there. Shout out to Love Experience. There's nobody to go out and fight these wars in Jesus's name if Jesus is not present, right? If Jesus never appears, then, but our thing was, and I think Arshawn made this clear, that he said, I don't think that that's going to stop bad things from happening, but they will stop in his name. His name will be the point. But my point is, we want the evil to stop. Not who cares whose name it comes in. We want the evil to stop, right? So how do we slow that down? Now, there was a point of contention. Yesterday where, and I want to clear this up. Okay, so there's a difference between evil and disobedience. There's a difference between evil and bad, right? So it's evil and bad, right? There's a difference between evil, right? There's a difference. Why? Because the difference is, I spoke yesterday. We were taught in the nation that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that there's a duality with everything in the universe. There's a duality. There's always, to give you good, I got to give you evil. To give you bad, to give you life, I got to give you death with it. You can't have one or the other. Now, when most people talk about religion, they have a ethereal thinking about religion, right? So if I accept God, evil is going to go running away from me and never visit me again. Is that the reality? No. This is what I was trying to get across yesterday when I said that the tree of good and evil was it was right there in the middle, because God have to tell you, hey, evil is here. There is evil here. So I want you to know that if you listen to me, you won't have to deal with it. You're not going to have to deal with it like that. So I'm going to put it right out here in front of your face so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like when we go out there and we tell our sons, hey, I'm on you now, because them dudes with them big black boots, when they get to you, they ain't going to have no love for you. Okay? I'm talking to you now. I'm gonna put a little pressure on you now so that you can understand that once you get out there and you have to deal with evil out there, they don't love you at all. Right? It's like those of y'all that get vaccinated. What do when they vaccinate you? They give you a little bit of the thing, not enough to get you actually sick, but enough of it so that your body can develop a defense against it. Right? They give you a little bit of it. They give you a little. Those of y'all that get vaccinated, they give you a little bit of the disease, a little bit of it, not enough to kill you, but enough till your body can develop a response organism against it. Because if they let you come out here and you just get the whole thing all at once, and your body's never fought against it, your body may not know what to do. Meanwhile, the disease is ravaging through you, right? Well, that's what the tree of good and evil was supposed to be. It was a vaccination. It was supposed to be a vaccination. It was supposed to be where you would be able. He would say, "Hey, look, to give you life, I had to give you death with it. To give you good, evil had to be present as well. Because there's a duality of everything in the universe, right? If you take a magnet, has a north pole and a south pole. If you cut that magnet in half, guess what? On either one of those little halves that you just cut, you're going to have a new south pole and a new north pole and another north pole and another south pole. And if you cut those magnets, there's going to be a new south pole and a north south pole, because there's a duality in the universe. On everything, there's a duality. Can't give you life without giving you death. We can't give you good without giving you evil. So evil will be present. So you need to know how you're going to move when you see evil. Right? So here's a tree. What does a tree represent? Something that's fastened, that's hard, it's not going to move. That's kind of like a law, right? A tree is going to represent something that's not going to be moved. It's a fact. It's something that you can't change, right? You can't change the duality of good and evil. It's going to be together. If you have the sunlight, you're going to have the moonlight, right? Duality of the universe, right? What goes up must come down, right? The universe is filled with dualities. So God says, hey, there's evil out there. So I want you to know about it from me. I'm going to tell you about evil up front so you don't run into it out there on your own. I'm telling you right now. Here, I'm putting it right there in front of your face so you can see it. So I can tell you this is, once you deal with this type of stuff, you're going to be done. You're going to open a can that you can't put the lid back on. So listen to me. I'm going to guide you around it. Even though it's in front of your face, I'll be able to guide you around it. If you listen. Did they listen? No, Clarence, they didn't listen, right? The woman was, her heart was already rebellious. I'm gonna teach you. Her heart had a little bit of rebellion in it already, right? A little bit of rebellion in it. We all got fire in us. Yahweh Muhammad taught us based through the Mr. Farrakhan that we all got fire in us. We all got a little fire in us, right? But that fire can be lit to do good or it can be lit to do bad, right? Her fire was lit and it was to her rebelliousness. She had a little rebelliousness in her heart. So when she met somebody that was singing a song that she wanted to hear, that was going to promote her rebelliousness, she went for the okie doke. Hey, your man lying to you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, girl, because I love you. I love you. Sister Annie, I love you. Don't listen to them dudes out there. I love you. Listen to me. I'm finna say some grown folk stuff. So y'all get the kids out the room. Get the kids out the room. I love you, Sister Annie. Just a tip. Just a tip. Just a tip. That's all. I don't want to do nothing else. Just a tip. Right? Just let me, just the tip. Right? Famous last words, right? Some of y'all got cheerings based on just a tip. Just a tip, right? So the man comes to the girl and says, hey, you know what? Your man Adam, he trying to control you, girl. He trying to control you. He trying to control you. He ain't looking out for you. He trying to control you. He trying to control you. Nah, girl. Nah. Don't let no man control you, girl. Eat that fruit. Show him you a boss. You a boss up in here, girl. Show him. Eat that fruit. I'm telling you. Ain't nothing gonna happen. They lying to you. Eat it. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Kept hearing that over and over and over and over again. Who knows? The man maybe even brought out the masculine in the female, right? By prodding her. You scared, girl. You scared. I ain't scared. I eat that fruit. But my man told me not to eat that fruit. My man told me not to do it. He said God told us not to eat from that fruit. What? They lying, girl. I'm trying to tell you they lying. They lying to you. They trying to get you to be submissive. What you need to be submissive for? What you need that for, girl? You need to go out here and get yours. Go out here and get yours, girl. Listening to them. They trying to make you a slave. That's the one to get them, right? They trying to make you a slave, girl. Nah. Don't need that. Go out there and put the smack down on them. Show them you ain't taking that. You finna eat this fruit. So he worked on it, right? She go back and tell the man, hey, man, we're gonna eat this fruit. I'm gonna eat it. Nah, don't do that. Now, when she ate the fruit, did anything happen? Nothing happened, right? No judgment. Nothing happens, right? The man eats the fruit. Now everybody's eyes are open, right? Oh, gosh. You know what? What? We ain't got no clothes on. We ain't got no clothes on. We ain't doing the nasty. We need to have some clothes on. Right? But before, God, they was running around with no clothes on. It was all good. It was all good. Why? Because everything, the evil and the information of evil. Now they put it in a fruit, but it's basically evil influences hadn't gotten to them yet. Now the evil influence have gotten to them. They didn't have the knowledge of evil influence and what could be done in an evil way, what could be done in the proper way, right? Well, they already knew the proper way. Now they know that evil can be done. Now they're ashamed of what they're doing. Now they know what shame is because you got to know evil to know shame. If you think you good, how you ain't gonna be feel ashamed unless you know you doing something wrong. If you don't think you doing something wrong, man, they people out here had slaves. They had human beings as property. They didn't feel nothing was wrong with that. They felt like, hey, that's the way it should be. They even used They even used Jesus to propagate that. Right? But was Jesus with that? No. But they use his name to propagate that. How can we blame a man that's been dead for his name being used to do something wicked? That's my question. Anyway, that's a whole nother question. So they eat the fruit and now they know what evil is. They didn't have that in their heart and mind and understanding because God told them how to keep that away from them so that they would live a good life. Their perspective would always be on good. They didn't need clothes because they was always going to have their perspective on the purity of good. When they came into the knowledge of evil, their perspectives changed. I don't have clothes on. I don't have clothes on. So now you realize you don't have clothes on. Now you got some shame, right? It's the shame that's letting you know that you don't have the clothes on. And you get the shame because you know you're doing something that's foul. Right? I'm just telling y'all that is something else that was brought up. Because the question was asked, well, why is this tree? Big Rig said, Big Rig said, y'all was calling God dumb yesterday. Stop right there, Big Rigs. Shout out to you, brother. But it wasn't y'all wasn't calling God dumb yesterday. Arshawn was calling God dumb yesterday. And I don't even think he was calling God dumb. He was saying he doesn't want to have a dumb God. And here's the reason why he said that. His theory was, if this is why you're doing it, because I'm trying to explain, and it goes based on what I was explaining. His theory was, why would a God be so dumb as to put a tree of good and evil in front of Yellow? I think at the same position. Why would a God be so dumb as to put a tree of good and evil right in the middle of everything so they could have access to it and expect them not to fall victim to the tree, right? Why would he be that silly? So he said, I don't believe that God is that dumb. I don't think he ever said God is dumb. I mean, he said, I don't want a dumb God. Y'all go back and check me, but I don't think he ever said God is dumb. If he did, I will stand myself. I will stand corrected. If you go back and you find where Arshawn said that God is dumb, you tell me. But I believe what he said was, I don't want a God that is dumb. I want a God. I don't believe that God is dumb. I want a God. I don't want dumb God. I want a smart God. Right? I don't think he ever said, I believe that God is dumb for doing this. He said, I don't believe that God is dumb. I don't believe he would just do that for no reason. There must be a bigger purpose behind it. Or it must be something else going on. Right? But y'all go to Arshawn. Y'all go to him. Ask him. Arshawn, did you say God was dumb? I don't believe he ever did that. But I could be wrong. Y'all go find the timestamp where he said, God is dumb. I believe God is dumb. Go find that timestamp. I'll play it right here, and I apologize to all of you for that. Anyway, shout out to Big Rigs, by the way. Okay, so anyway, Big Rig said, I put y'all all in the box. Y'all all going down. See, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like Bolo said, man. Some of us are just on we just get held to a higher standard, right? Shout out to Big Rigs, man. What's up in the bay, man? All right, so anyway, is God now? God, I agree with him. God has to have a bigger purpose than just set something in the middle of the way of everybody and saying, "Hey, don't eat these cookies, right? Setting these cookies down and saying, don't eat them, right? It must be a bigger reason for that, right? Must be a bigger reason. So I'm saying there is a bigger reason, right? I'm saying that tree represents a vaccination, right? That circumstance represents a vaccination that had to happen, right? Because the farther you go away from, you go out from the garden, you're going to run into stuff, man. You're going to run into things that could appear like what's going on here, right? But if you have a frame of reference, hey, God told me stay from certain things. You don't have to get into that, right? You don't have to get, and you don't have to be partakers of what's going to happen to the people that have that issue. For example, the Bible gives us a clear diet that we supposed to, some of the things that we should stay away from, right? Some foods that we should stay away from, clear. But there's some people that say, you know what? Well, Jesus comes and Jesus says, and because of Jesus and the grace from Jesus, we can now eat this stuff. Okay. It's perspective, right? Some people have the perspective, no, this is clearly not good eating right here. Tastes good, but it's not good for you, right? And some people say, hey, no, God said don't touch it. I think my perspective is that God was trying to get us not to be so focused on the tree, but be focused on his word and respecting what he said. That was what I was trying to get across. Not so much the tree, the treats, the cookies that was left on the table. It's not so much the cookies that's left on the table. It's your respect and adoration for the person that told you, I put these cookies here, but you don't eat them, right? Or I didn't put those cookies here. For me to have you be alive, I have to put these cookies on the table. These cookies going to be on the table. Or you may find these cookies around, you may find cookies like this around the corner, but they ain't good for you. Don't eat them, right? So I'm going to show you what cookies look like in here in the house already. Before you go out that front door, you'll know what cookies look like. And I told you stay away from them. That way you'll stay away from them. But I see people eating these cookies and they so good, right? What they say in what's that movie? Doggone it. What's that movie with Sam Jackson and John Travolta? Pulp Fiction. He said, when Sam Jackson said, I don't eat pork, right? and John Travolta said, but bacon is good. Right? It is good. Tastes great. It's not good. I would say that. It tastes good. It's not good. Not good for you. But that's something you're going to have to look for on your own. But I'm just saying that our parents will tell us about things before we get out into the real world to prep us for when we run into something like that, right? Because if your parents don't prepare you that people are out there that are not going to treat you right and how to respond and react to that, then you're going to get caught out there. You be out there with somebody and then somebody will mistreat you and then you won't know how to respond to it. You either overreact or underreact, right? But if you already know how to deal with something like that, when you run out to the world and you run into it, you can handle it, right? And keep on moving. Your boat won't tip over, right? Anyway, that was my take on Arshawn. I didn't want to be a long time. I didn't want to go a long time. I don't want y'all to say, I just want y'all to see that, there's ways of interpreting things, right? And so that I'm giving you guys my interpretation. Arshawn had a different interpretation. Yella had a different interpretation. VonEric, Mr. He said. So when you go to see them, they will have different interpretations of the same thing I'm saying, right? Brother Clan just giving you Brother Clan's interpretation, right? But once again, I want to make it clear. I never heard Arshawn say God is dumb. I did hear him say that he would, get rid of baby Jesus. That I did hear him say. So he have to deal with that part. But we putting on him that he said that that God was dumb. I can't ride. I'm just a person that you got to show me the facts, and I don't believe he ever said that God is dumb. I don't believe he ever said that. However, if somebody can go out there and timestamp it and give it to me where he said that God is dumb, I believe God is dumb. My apologies. My apologies. But like I said, I didn't hear him say that. So y'all, those of y'all that's putting that out there, man. Better go back and take another look at it. Take another look at it. Right. Let's see. All right, y'all. That's pretty much what I want to go over, man. I want to go over the tree. I want to go over, some of the things that we talked about, and and my position on a couple of different things. And if you guys want to see more and talk more, I think we're gonna do it again. But I have a question. How do you get to heaven? How do you get to heaven? What's the demarcation line? Right? I didn't either, Sister Annie. I didn't hear him say that. It's been said that he said that, but I never heard him say it. I never heard him say it as well. So I just want to be clear that I never heard him say that. But people are saying that he said that, but I'm like, okay. Okay. All right. Show. All you got to do is show Brother Clarence, man. Give me the timestamps, because I deal in reality. I deal in truth. And if he said it in truth, then okay. I don't blame anybody for being upset with that, but I never heard him say that. However, moving forward, we're going to have these conversations, y'all, and we're going to have conversations with each other. And what we got to do is we're going to have to, be, open to the alternative, right? As much as you love Jesus, there's somebody out here that's going to say, hey, we should take Jesus out, right? Much as I love Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there's somebody out here that's saying, man, Muhammad is, child molester and this and that, right? A chomo, right? Same thing about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, same thing about Minister Farrakhan, whatever, right? Whoever the way you feel about them in the positive, there's somebody out there that feels the same way about them in the negative, right? They had a negative experience, and so they say, hey, look, I'm going to blame this man on this, right? Right? I had a negative experience in the Nation of Islam with someone. That's Minister Farrakhan's fault, right? Right? That's his fault. How is that his fault? Is he the one you had a bad experience with? No, but this person represented him. Yeah, but he could have represented him wrong, right? That's like saying, I was not following Christianity. Why? Because of Judas. Judas he represented Jesus. So Judas went wrong. Then why should I follow Jesus? Judas was right next to Jesus, right? Why should I follow him? I'm not following Jesus. Why? Because of Peter. Why? Because Peter ran off the reservation. Soon as it started going down, Peter was like, hey, do you know this guy? No, never heard of him, right? Peter never heard of the dude, right? Yeah. So we got to look at, our experience. We got to be able to separate the experience from the person that they're trying to put it on, right? Right? The Crusades, they say they was in the name of the Jesus, but really? Or was they really just opportunists looking for any way to justify going out and getting the resources from somebody else? Really? We need to talk about the Crusades. What was that about? I mean, if we really gonna be honest, we gonna be truthful, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, we don't want to step on nobody's toes, hurt nobody's feelings, but these are some things we need to talk about. We need to find out from the beginning, right? It's like when I tried to talk to Vagoda. I said, Vagoda, we got to go to the beginning to find out where this conflict happened, right? It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys right now. We don't know who started what and what's going on and how we can fix it, right? Because nobody won't go to the original issue and address that. Well, we don't need to go to the original issue. Why? What are we going to uncover if we go to the original issue? Is it something you trying to keep us from finding out? Or what's going on? I mean, on either side, what's going on? But the Middle East situation, that's a whole nother issue. Let's keep it here, y'all. I love y'all, man. Glad y'all came in and joined us, man. I only want to clear up some of the stuff that I was talking about earlier yesterday, and that's the main point, was the tree of good and evil. Because the question was, why was the tree of good and evil put out there? And my understanding is that it was out there to show that, evil is out there. We can't have this ethereal thing. Oh, well, since God is here, everything should be all good. That's not reality, right? That's not reality. God is the God of truth, right? But the truth is, to give you good, evil has to be on the table too. It has to. To give you life, death has to be on the table too, right? To give you the day, God said in the Quran, I gave you the alternation of the day and the night, right? I had to give you this alternate. I had to give you the night too. He didn't say, hey, it's going to be daylight all the time, right? He said, I have to give you the alternation of the day and the night. So that means you got to have both of them. You can't just have a sunny day like today. There's some rain going to come, right? But it's all for the good. All for the good. Questions, comment, any questions? I'm about to wrap this one up, y'all. I thought I was gonna, I got a little bird in my ear telling me to hurry up, wrap it up. Don't take too long, right? So I didn't go into a long thing about it. I just wanted to hit some of the points that I felt that I needed to clarify, because when you got five-man panel, it might be a little difficult for 5 people or 6 people, really. Von Brian also came up on the panel too, right? So it might be difficult for 6 people to, go back and forth and set up ideas and discuss ideas, right? Shout out to all the brothers. Shout out to Arshawn. Shout out to Yella. Shout out to VonEric. Shout out to VonEric, man. We gotta give VonEric a mic, man. I thought I had a bad mic. Holy smokes. VonEric. Shout out to VonEric. Shout out to Mr. He Said. And of course, shout out to Von Bryant from the home team. So shout out to everybody who was up there, man. Hopefully, man, we can have a good effect on the YouTube streets, and on what we really want to do is train these young men on how to be men, man, and not so much focus on how can we get these women to do. No. We may talk about touch women here and there, but that's not our focus. Our focus is on these young men, man. Because if we can get young men to turn around, man, the young sisters, just to be selected, will have to turn around themselves, right? If they don't, just to be in a sexual selection process for good men. Now, you're always going to be sexually selected by the Pookies and the Ray Rays, but we want them sexually selected by good dudes. I got a granddaughter out here. I don't want Pookie's running at. Pookie's going to run at her anyway, but I want her to be able to know the difference between a Pookie, even if he got a nice car, he got his own place, he got everything popping off. That don't mean he ain't a Pookie, right? When I say Pookie, I'm talking about cats running from responsibility. They don't want no responsibility. They want to do everything and have it free, have its responsibility free. And that's not the reality of the world, especially for men. Men are not supposed to be responsibility free. Kids are supposed to be responsibility free, not men. Men have responsibilities. We're responsible to our community. We're responsible to our families. We're responsible. At least we're supposed to be, right? So that's what we're trying to push here. And we got to do it by example. So we're trying to be we try to be responsible men and women here. We even got women that's responsible with us too as well. It's just we trying to promote that. Are we perfect? No, we're not perfect. Are we without fault? No, we're not without fault. None of us are without any fault or doing anything wrong. So all we trying to do is do better, right? This is all we trying to do is do better and try to encourage our people to do better. We got enough bumps on our head over here. We could write 10,000 books, right? So we trying to save all our young men from putting themselves out there and putting themselves in harm's way. All right? That's all we trying to do, man. We ain't trying to judge nobody and say, we better than y'all. We ain't better than nobody. I'm going to tell you right now, we not better than nobody. We got stuff we need to work on. We got stuff we trying to overcome. We got stuff we trying to do every day. All the rest of all of us over here, we trying to work on. These guys will tell you, man, when I text them privately, we always trying to work on stuff. Have different things we trying to work on, right? Not that any one thing stands out. We just try to work on things to improve ourselves, right? Because we know we're not perfect. If we wasn't perfect, we would. If we was perfect, I wouldn't say, hey, let's work on this today. Let's work on that today. If we were perfect, if I thought we were perfect, but I know we not, including myself. We're not. That's why I try to say, let's work on this, y'all. Let's work on that, y'all. Anyway, question. Yeah, it was, Bond. It was very difficult. I knew it was going to be difficult, and I know it would be difficult for especially somebody of the Christian faith to sit through. So, man, I admire you for sitting through that, because Jesus is very much a focal point of the Christian faith, and I think anybody who felt that Jesus was somebody of respect and worthy of a certain level of hands-offness, right? that a Christian person who really believed that that would be a difficult conversation. It would be a very difficult conversation. So, but man, shout out to you for at least attempting to have it, and and then trying to deal with what came with that. So, but just know, those of us that feel that way, when we are other people can respond however they want to respond, but when we respond, we're going to be held to a higher standard, and it's unfair, but that's just the way it is. We're going to be held to a higher standard by most people out there, right? They're going to say, I can do it, but you're supposed to be better than me, right? And you try to tell them, hey, I'm not better than you. I'm just following a different discipline than you. You could try to live this way too, right? That's all I'm trying. I'm not better than you. But because of it, sometimes in their self-esteem, it's at such a point, they feel like anybody that's doing something that they're not doing is better than them. It's crazy. Black people have so many complexes and simplexes that are just unaddressed, undiagnosed, everything. And then we just walking around out here like everything's okay, right? Anyway, man, let me get out of here, y'all. All right. So let me do the wrap up. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate you, for coming through. Everybody who came through. Everybody did a great job. Appreciate y'all, man. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is I want to have a send-off for Patrice on Thursday, y'all. So what we're gonna do is think about your best Patrice moment and some of the things that you may have learned from Patrice. Because we want to give her a good send-off, man. Let her go. And for those of y'all that don't know, Sister Patrice, she got a very good opportunity to work with a multi-million-dollar company. She got a very good opportunity to do that. So obviously she took it. But I knew somebody was gonna come knocking on her door. If they ever saw her work, at least even just over here, they would say, hey, this person, she could definitely do it. So I want to give Patrice a send-off on Thursday evening. So all of y'all that are not busy, if you could come over and you don't have to come up on the stage if you don't want to, but just in the chat, man, support her, and, give her a good send-off, right? Let's send her on her new opportunity, but let's show her that she meant something to us, and she still means something to us. So we're gonna go over that. We'll try to do that Thursday. We'll pencil that in for Thursday. All right, y'all. That's it. The chat is where it's at, man. Everything was A-OK. All it was real good. You guys did a great job in the chat, as always, right? As always. Shout out to the chat. Very solid performance from the chat. Very solid performance. It was just me up here today. So, the fellas did a great job yesterday. So shout out to all of them. But we're going to try and do it again, right? We'll try to do it again. And, Bro C, I'm not saying nobody's wrong. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, Arshawn's wrong, or Yellow's wrong, and Mr. Heath said, and VonEric. I'm not saying nobody's wrong. I'm just giving you my perspective on it, right? My perspective. I didn't go up here thinking that we were going to change each other's minds about anything. No, I didn't. I never thought that. We're just going to discuss our differences of opinion, and that's what we did. You know what I mean? But anyway, all right, y'all. We out of here. Everybody, great job today. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Go be with your families, and I will see you on the next one. Anybody who is who I was talking to earlier this morning, let me send y'all the link, man. Y'all could tap in, and then we will have a little conversation. If you guys are free, we can have a little conversation in the back. Let me send out the link real quick. But while I'm doing that, let me play a little bit more of this.
What time the bus leave?
I knew he was thinking about it. I knew it. Damn.
What time the bus leave? That's all I need to know. Do I need to pack
That's
light?
what's
Are
up.
we just going there and coming back? Or,
Going and coming back.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a day trip. It's a day trip, man. It's a baby. He can't fight back. His mama pregnant. Joseph, he only half into it because his wife, came pregnant. Baked in family. He wasn't really into it. He wanted to put her away privately anyway. So he be thanking us. Like, man, I ain't want to deal with that anyway. I ain't want to be a stepdaddy. I watch Kevin Samuels. So anyway.
King Heron would love y'all. King Heron would be like, man, y'all.
We could probably come back with the bag. We could probably come back with the bag.
Y'all.
Man, we could probably come back world class like that. Sad face. Man, listen. So Yellow would join me, and then immediately God got rid of him.
Ready, Arshawn. I'm gonna ask for everybody on the panel. If you will allow me.
Oh, facts.
Nice. I think if you watch Bolo TV show, as when other people
do the mindset of a greater later, but at the same time not even willing to leave the earth now, it just creates a complete discord as far as aspiration, inspiration, and I think the perfect storm of just confusion. And with that is why we see what we see today. So my mindset is a Marvel mindset. I think that there is no timeline where everything works out. It's always going to be, these variants and these deviations off into these other timelines. And I don't know if pruning is the answer. I don't know if just taking everything out and starting from scratch is the answer. But I know that, just Hitler or just baby Jesus, I don't know if that's going to be the answer, y'all.
I get you. What about you, Brother Clarence, man? Answer that question if you could. What perspective, when we ask that question, what perspective do you come from? Where does your mind jump to? Just Brother Clarence? Or are you speaking like from a global perspective, a historical perspective, a religious, like where's your perspective come from? And then, expand your thoughts.
my perspective comes from my belief that we are God's people, and we being in particular Black people, we are supposed to be kind of like a guideline of how behavior should be. That's just my personal belief, but we're not that today. We are way off, and we were led that way. right? There's a number of different things. I'm not going to break all that down, but there was a number of different things how we got here, right? So my perspective is, how do we get the genie back in the bottle? How do we get back to where we're supposed to be, as when other people around the world look at us, they say, hey, that's what civilized people look like. How do we get back to that, right? And so that's the perspective I'm looking at, is how do we
Did his mic go out? Or my
Yeah,
mic?
I stopped.
I thought it was just me. Your brother Clint, your mic went out. I thought it was just me. I'm like, oh, because I'm over here doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, I done messed up. I done messed up.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay.
You're back.
Okay. So yeah, how do we get all, we got all off the reservation, right? So that's the perspective. Is my perspective is always to bring us back, always to talking from a point of trying to walk us back to where we're supposed to be, as far as in my opinion, leadership in civilized behavior, right? So and also, just getting back to the original question, taking out Jesus, if we take out, because my perspective is, okay, you say you take Jesus out, there's somebody else that slips in that slot. You know what I mean? So we just doing all of this in somebody else's name, right? So somebody else comes, right? Arshan the Great comes, right? Arshan the Great comes, and he gives all of his knowledge, right? So then all these wars get fought in Arshan the Great's name, right? Or Clarence's name, or whoever's name, right? So I don't think it's that. I mean, it's interesting that we would ask that question, right? We would look into it. But from my perspective, I don't think that would solve the problem, because anything can be weaponized. I think if you watch Bolo TV show, he always says truth is a weapon if it's used improperly, right? Or something like that. Go to his channel and find it. But if you use truth, you can use truth to help somebody, or you can use truth to hurt them, right? And it's not that the truth is going to hurt them. It's the way it was delivered that's going to hurt them, right? It's like you can put $1 million in an atom bomb and drop it on the people, right? So, but the $1 million ain't going to help them if they did, right? So it depends on how you deliver this truth, this good news, this gospel that you got. It depends on how you deliver it. So all that being said, even with what VonEric said about Moses, even we take out Moses, you still gonna have death. You still gonna have problems. You still gonna have. Moses came because it was because of the environment at that time. That time needed a Moses. By the time Jesus comes, 2,000 years later, now you can't bring Moses back. Moses can't handle that situation. The things that Moses was teaching ain't gonna work in that situation now, because stuff has progressed so far. Now you need somebody to come along that can handle the way the situation is now. Now you need a Jesus, right? So, and then obviously when the time goes forward, now you need somebody else to handle that situation, right? And so therefore it just, in my point is, the evil is always going to progress. The evil is always going to progress, and it's always going to be able to it's like a virus. It's always going to mutate around the situation, right? It's hard to have a lot of evil going on when you got a small group of people, but when you got billions of people, the evil can maneuver around, and so it's going to mutate and do different things. Now, the question is not how do we get rid of the person, how do we get rid of the evil? That's the real question. So that's the question I'm putting on the table. Plus, I got another question for the gentleman after we get this one. I got another question. Okay. Finish the one I asked you already, Arshan. I'm gonna ask it for everybody on the panel, if you will allow me. Brother.
Oh, facts, man. Listen, in the back, I'm echoing something through somebody's mic, but Yella put something in the private chat. I replaced Mary, because who was hurt?
All right, y'all. I got a couple people back in the back putting the stage, so I'm going to end the show. Thank y'all for listening, and y'all have the blessed day, and we'll see y'all on Thursday. Remember, we're going to do a tribute to Patrice, and then we're going to be out of here. All right, y'all. Peace.